My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator, and this is the last 24 hours in the news. Today is August 18th, 2025. It is 3:09 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Here are the top U.S. news highlights from the past 24 hours. Foxconn and SoftBank to build AI infrastructure in Ohio. Foxconn and SoftBank are reviving Foxconn's former electric vehicle factory in Lordstown, Ohio, to manufacture data center equipment. This forms part of the $500 billion Stargate project announced by Trump, which includes partnerships with OpenAI and Oracle to bolster U.S. artificial intelligence infrastructure. Measles cases surge. As of August 8th, there were 10,139 measles cases and 18 deaths across 10 countries in the Americas, including the U.S., which had 3 deaths. However, this statistic is not a development from the past 24 hours, but still recent. HHS revives Childhood Vaccine Safety Task Force. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services reinstated a task force aimed at enhancing childhood vaccine safety. The group, under NIH leadership, is tasked with improving oversight and reducing adverse reactions, with a first report expected within 2 years. Hurricane Erin strengthens to Category 4. Hurricane Erin has intensified into a Category 4 storm and is now approximately 965 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. While initial tracking keeps the core offshore, life-threatening surf and rip currents are expected along the U.S. East Coast in the coming week. Credit markets calm, but risks linger. Corporate credit markets remain tranquil with strong risk appetite and rising leverage loan ability. Yet analysts warn sectors tied to consumer spending, especially younger, lower-income demographics, may face strain from tariffs and resuming student loan payments. U.S. cancels trade talks with India ahead of 50% tariff spike. The U.S. has canceled its scheduled August trade negotiations in New Delhi just days before an incoming 25% punishment tariff will take the total to a staggering 50% on certain Indian imports. Trump cited India's ongoing purchase of Russian oil as a key factor behind the escalating trade tension. While Reuters reports this development, it notes the information comes from NDTV Profit and has not been fully confirmed by U.S. or Indian officials. Trade statement with EU on hold amid digital regulation dispute. A jointly agreed trade statement between the U.S. and EU remains in limbo. Disagreements over digital regulation, especially in the EU's Digital Services Act, are proving too significant to ignore. The U.S. considers it a non-tariff barrier, while the EU views it as essential for online safety. No official comments have been made by either side yet, per Reuters, citing the Financial Times. And remember, kids, the stock market is not the economy. Just because the S&P and Dow Jones go up does not mean that wages are growing, jobs are secure, people are thriving. Here's the hazardous weather update for the next few days. West, Southwest, and Great Plains forecasts indicate a prolonged extreme heat wave, with temperatures peaking at 100 degrees on Monday. These conditions pose serious risks of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and associated health threats, especially in desert and high elevation regions. Midwest and central U.S. high heat continues through Tuesday with widespread temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. Dehydration and heat-related illnesses remain the primary hazard. Expect hot and humid conditions in the southeast and Gulf Coast, particularly on Monday. Thunderstorms may develop in the afternoon, adding localized flash flooding and lightning risks, though heat remains the dominant concern. Northeast and mid-Atlantic, the region remains hot with highs in the mid-90s. However, scattered afternoon thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday are possible, so stay alert for lightning and localized downpours. And then for the international news, this is what we have for today. Russia strikes, kills civilians in Kharkiv. Confirmed a deadly Russian air drone strike struck Kharkiv, killing 3 people, including a 2-year-old, injuring 17 others. Homes in nearby Sumy were also damaged. Gold rebounds ahead of Trump-Zelensky summit. Confirmed gold prices climbed from a 2-week low to $3,348.59 an ounce, supported by declining U.S. Treasury yields and investor caution ahead of a critical summit between Trump, Zelensky, and European leaders. U.S. trade advisor condemns India's Russian oil purchases. The White House advisor Peter Navarro in the Financial Times urged India to cease buying Russian crude, warning these purchases undermine its strategic partnership with the U.S. and raise tariffs on Indian goods to 50%. Zelensky heads to Washington with European leaders in tow. Ukrainian President Zelensky is traveling to Washington accompanied by European allies for high-stakes meetings with Trump on Ukraine peace. Former Hong Kong lawmaker granted asylum in Australia. Democracy advocate Ted Hui received asylum in Australia, described as a bold statement given concerns over Hong Kong's eroding political freedoms. Thailand's Q2 GDP grows beyond expectations. Confirmed Thailand posted a 2.8% annual GDP growth for quarter 2, exceeding forecasts with revised 2025 growth projected between 1.8 to 2.3%. Oh my goodness, kitty. Asian stock markets reached new highs today. The rally is backed by expectations of Fed easing and a continuation of strong earnings from major U.S. tech firms. My cat is a baby kitten, and she likes to ambush me from under the desk and will dig her claws into my legs. So, yeah, she's a baby. She's learning. That is what is up with the interruption. Anyways, this has been the last 24 hours in the news. It is August 18th, 2025 at 3:29 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
So the Olympics is great. And Johnny, for the others, you know, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup, too. And, you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know, I got both of them. I got the Olympics, and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment to my videos. And also, don't forget to check out my shop where you could get this awesome Real Patriots Punch Nazis t-shirt. America, fuck yeah! And if you go to the link tree in my bio on most platforms, it's got links to everything, all of my stuff. You can find my shop there. I'm on eBay. You can also get this cool Exterminate MAGA sticker, because MAGA's fucking cockroaches. And fuck MAGA. Abolish MAGA. Fuck you, MAGA.